What's up in War Eagle War Report family? It's your guy, Ike Jones, hosting tonight Midweek Report. We are here brought to you by auburnsports.com, and Vanderbilt is coming up this weekend. You know we got to get in here and talk about that, plus the rest of the SEC slate for the upcoming weekend. Let's get straight to it, man. It's your newest edition of the Midweek Report. Everybody, War Eagle, we are here, the newest edition of the Midweek Report, brought to you by show sponsor auburnsports.com for all of your news and notes on all things concerning Auburn sports. Make sure you check out the good folks at auburnsports.com. Ike Jones in here, joined by a typical guy, B. Will. However, got some more guys from the network on. Mike G is out covering the Auburn exhibition game for basketball tonight, so he is over there. And then Caesar, had to handle some other business. So sitting in from the network, we have our guy Dustin in here from the Uptempo podcast, and Dylan from the College Loop podcast, all a part of the War Report Network. We appreciate those guys for filling in tonight so we can have a nice, wonderful conversation. Fellas, how are we feeling tonight?
My favorite sport's about to start, so I'm ready, bro. I'm ready for some Auburn basketball. I'm doing great.
Okay, yeah. That's the wrong thing. All right, yeah. Cool, yeah. Basketball. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, basketball. Dylan, man, what's up, man? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I got a new hat alert going on. I bought it because it was blistering hot for Mississippi State, and the dry fit kind of captures the sweat more. And then all of a sudden, it turned to 30 degrees outside. So
yeah.
A little bit of a different kind of freeze warning going on.
Tis the season for that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time of year where we get into that. B. Will, what's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm a little anxious, a little bit this weekend, but it's good. It's good.
I'm about to say, we'll get into the game and all that sort of thing for sure. But is everybody feeling like on a scale of 1 to 10 confidence level about Vanderbilt right now? Where we at? Just quick.
Feeling very loopy.
Loopy. I mean, what's the number? What loopy is? I don't know what loopy is on the scale of 1 to 10.
8 to 9.
Okay.
Maybe a little too high.
Dustin, that does feel a little loopy. I got you right there. What's you feeling, Dustin?
5.
Ooh.
If it was at home, I'd be about 7. But
okay.
I mean, Cal's a bad team, and then like the A&M and the Baton Rouge efforts don't really give me any hope either. So
I understand.
I think we saw something last week, but now I got to see us take the next step and take that on the road. That's again, I got to see it to believe it, guys.
Listen, I can't be upset at that assessment. Be Will, 1 to 10, where you at?
I think I'm about a 7. I think I would be with Dustin at about a 5, but Vanderbilt's that bad, so it gets bumped up a little bit because of that. But I'm feeling like we're gonna win it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna look impressive though?
Yeah. All fair assessments. All fair assessments. All right. Before we get too far into that, we need you all out there in the cyber world to be doing the necessary, and that is to share the video. As always, we appreciate y'all getting the word out there about the show. Get some more people involved in the conversation. Come in here and tell us all of the things that we say that are wrong. Listen, it's all good. We appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. That helps us tremendously. If you're watching this later, comment, tell us how you feel about what we said, man. We want to hear all of those things. Also, before we get too far into it, let's talk about membership to the War Report. if you guys want to be members, you can click that join button right now. It always feels weird when I have to host and do this because I feel like I just be talking too much, but it's all good. If you want to go ahead and click that join button, you can do that. And you see the membership levels right there. Some great film watching has been happening, and we will continue to do that as the season progresses and on into basketball. If you are a member and you want to gift that membership to someone else, not your membership, but a membership, and they get a free first month on you, you can do that right now. Hashtag get your weight up in the live chat right now to enter the draw. We'll give away another one of these wonderful mugs sponsored by War Eagle Oil. They are your place for all of your motor oil and related products. Head over to wareagleoil.com for that. And the guys are on here. We'll talk about them for sure. College Loop is out there. Uptempo Podcast is out there. We are out there as the Auburn Express. If you want to get the audio formatted versions of all of the conversations we have throughout the week, that's the place where you need to go. And then the Just a Set Podcast for stuff that is more expansive around the entire conference. You guys can check that out. All right. Enough of that malarkey, ramblings, shenanigans, and all of that. Let's get into picking some games for this coming week in the SEC. Now, this doesn't necessarily involve the two gentlemen below, but we do need to go back and look at how we have doing so far this season. And B. Will is once again in the lead for the Rapport scorecard, making games. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
I'm on your heels, though, bro. I'm on your heels.
Oh, I mean, I know. Hey, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just interested that I'm winning. I find that interesting.
I know Mike G and Caesar are upset that they're not including Auburn games in that. But look, man, I'm gonna root for my team every time. You can't make me pick against Auburn. Screw you, Mike G. Can't make me do it.
Dang, Mike G is way behind on that.
Yes, you know what? He missed a week, so he didn't have any games in there. He didn't submit his stuff in time for us to put him in there for it to officially count. And then other than that, he's just wrong a lot. So, you know, there's that portion of it. All right, so let's get into the games this week. I didn't put them in a particular order, but as I scan through, I will start with the games that are least interesting, and we will go ahead and get this UConn-Tennessee situation out of the way. Does anybody want to pick an upset here and say UConn is going to travel into Knoxville and knock off Tennessee?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody was going to jump out the window, but hey, you got to ask and make sure that that's not a crazy thing that's going to be happening. Now, we're going to save the conference games till later, even though this non-con game is interesting. We were actually just talking about this before we got on. Spread's 15.5, but Jacksonville State is making the trip up to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks and the Fighting Shane Beamers. Does anybody want to pick the upset here?
No, but South Carolina's not going to win by 15.
Yeah, I'm about to say Jacksonville State covers, but I think South Carolina wins this game.
Yeah, I am not going to pick an upset in this game. South Carolina has not played well this season, but they also handled business in their non-con, well, North Carolina aside, in their non-P5. Let me say that in their non-P5 fairly well. I can't listen. Didn't Shane Beamer just get an extension on his contract? Didn't they just extend him recently?
Probably.
I feel like Shane Beamer got a contract extension in the last 12 months.
He seems the kind of coach that would just live off of getting extensions for no reason.
I can't see. Look, and I think Jacksonville State is gonna go out there and they're gonna give it the old college try. I just can't see it happening, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna belabor the point. Shane Beamer's again, that warranty.
You know what? Let me look at this matchup sheet real quick because
are you gonna flip and take a flyer on Jacksonville right now?
Do it, be Will.
You got a 2-game lead on everybody, and now you want to try to throw one away?
Nah, see, that's what you would say if you didn't want me to get up one more. No, I'm not falling for that. No, Jacksonville.
Spencer Rattler has had a stretch where he's played decent against bad teams, or not bad teams, but lesser teams at well, it's not October anymore, but in Columbia, he's done a pretty good job of playing well.
Wait a minute. Pause. What?
You never
Is that
heard
a
of
real thing?
Yeah, Cocktober.
Yeah.
That's what they called, because they last year they
Yeah.
played very well in the month of October.
Yeah,
And they had they had a stretch where they were like, I think it was it Tennessee? I think beat them, or who beat them at the start of the month? Was it Florida?
What?
Someone beat them at the start of October, and they started saying it's not Cocktober. Cocktober is cock over or something like that.
Let's we can go on to another pick.
Bro. I don't.
Oh man.
I try really hard not to make fun of these other fan bases, man. And they just keep giving me ammunition. Why do y'all do this to yourselves, man? All right, I'm gonna move on.
I'm not gonna pick against South Carolina here. I am yeah, I'm gonna stick with South Carolina for now, I suppose.
All right, man. Let's move on. Jeez Louise.
I don't know if you can see I have a South Carolina hat like right there too, and you could probably use your eyes to see what it says on the front.
Real quick, this is kind of breaking news, and Mike just reported this from the game as well. But apparently, Janai Broom just got hurt in the exhibition game. Went down, was grabbing his right shoulder, and went straight to the locker room.
Sweet.
Yep, not going to talk about that. Moving on. We're going to try to keep happy vibes going today.
Dylan Cardwell season.
Kentucky traveling to play the team that we just beat. Mississippi State only favored by 3.5 points here is Kentucky. Interesting.
Well, Kentucky's offense isn't actually good, so it gets even harder for them away from home, like it does for most struggling offenses. And Mississippi State's defense is still not terrible. I see why this is a close spread. I'm definitely taking that under 46. I mean, I'm like definitely. I don't know. This is Let me see what Kentucky is, because I feel like I need to. Have they dropped a winnable game yet that they had no business losing? Because that's kind of Stoops was going to.
Do you think Florida's a winnable game that they had no business losing?
That was a pick'em game for them.
Okay, that's it.
What time
is Will Rogers playing?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
That's a good question. I think Mike Brights looked pretty good. I wouldn't risk Will Rogers if I were them, but
you think Mike Wrights looked pretty good?
Yeah, he made some throws that we haven't been able to make this season. I mean,
yeah, he also Mike Wright is such a Jekyll and Hyde guy. Like when he dropped back, I pointed this out in the film review. He literally had the same seam route on back-to-back throws, and one of them you couldn't have thrown it any better. And the other one, you possibly could not have thrown it any worse. And it was the exact same throw to the exact same position. He hit one of them, receiver almost dead in the hands between two DBs. And the other one, he overthrew by like 10 yards. That's not pretty good, bro.
Yeah.
I like Kentucky here. I think Ray Davis is going to have a nice little field day.
Mississippi State versus the run and Ray Davis. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go Kentucky about 24-10 range. I don't think it's really a contest for them. They're just going to run the ball, control the clock. Man, Mississippi State, it's one of those situations where it's like everyone keeps asking what happened with Will Rogers, what's happening with Will Rogers. Dude, I said before the season, bro, this might like be really bad because you're taking a spread offense and trying to completely change what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you can switch it up a little bit in the portal. You can try to find some guys, but just that drastic of a turnover, like of course it's looked like this, right?
It's difficult to take a team that is built to play air raid and make them play any other style in one off season and significantly change kind of just the DNA of a team, which is I feel bad for Zach Arnett, right? Because he's the guy that's been tasked to try to hold this together. Like I don't know if he's the long-term solution for Mississippi State, but I also
he's probably not.
He's not.
But here's the thing: it's like it's almost as if he's going to get scapegoated for this being bad, as if like he got put in a really tough situation, man. And I feel bad for him. Like I listened to him in press conferences, and he just doesn't give that command presence that you would when you think of like a head football coach. He didn't give that off in the press. I don't know what he's like in the locker room. He seems like a good guy and probably not probably. He is an amazing defensive coordinator. I'd have taken him here at Auburn.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't know, man. I feel bad for the guy.
He kind of got forced.
He
He kind of got forced into the head coaching role because of the death of Mike Leach. He might be the first ever defensive coordinator promoted to head coach, demoted back to defensive coordinator whenever they go on an national search.
This is an interesting question, and that's where I was going with this. Do you think that they would keep him on as a DC after this?
If they're
it's going to be up to the discretion of the next head coach. But
you got to have some leeway there.
His name was floating around for our DC job, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the Mike Leach situation happened. So I don't know if he would. I don't know if he would. He might go take a DC job somewhere, but I could see him stepping back down at Mississippi State. That would be kind of weird, in my opinion.
It would be weird if they hadn't removed the interim tag on him. Then I just don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna pick Mississippi State here.
Okay.
It does not make a lot of sense, but I've seen enough of Kentucky looking bad, and I don't know. I saw Mississippi State bow up against the run second half last week. I know they can. I mean, they held Arkansas to 3 points, and Arkansas is not great, but Kentucky's not good on offense either. They've got the tools to make it a very mucky game and take advantage with a couple of really good, weird, why did he do that well when he had no business doing that well throws from Mike Wright. It's possible. I see it in the design. I think that's reflected in the spread here. So I'm gonna go Mississippi State.
All right, cool. I'm taking Kentucky in this game. I just don't think that Mississippi State is a very good football team. Not that the Kentucky is very good. I just think that they're a better football team than Mississippi State. And I don't know, as annoying as those cowbells are, I'm not expecting Kentucky to go in there and be intimidated in that environment. So I'm going to go with Kentucky on this one. All right. Other games that are not so interesting, but they are there to be talked about. Well, semi-interesting. Let's go here to Arkansas going to Florida. Only a 6-point spread in this one with Florida at home. And Arkansas coming off of a bye week with a new offensive coordinator. Are they expecting some sort of magic to happen with Arkansas where their offense wakes up after they fire Dan Enos? Like, this is a very interesting line to me.
No, Florida's just trash. 2 trash teams. That's all that is.
What state you live in there, Dustin?
Pensacola, Florida.
All right.
I can get to Auburn and back home before I can get to Gainesville.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna be weird.
I like the hometown hate because you hate
Florida State.
Florida State hate heavy over here, bro.
Yeah,
heavy.
Yeah,
Miami too. They can get it too.
I'm about to say something very weird. I'm taking Arkansas here.
Okay.
Oh.
I
think it's not weird.
Florida's losing out.
If you said you were taking like Vanderbilt in this game, that'd be weird because they're not playing. But Arkansas is one of the choices, so it's cool.
Well, the team that just fired their OC, they're not favored to win. I think Florida's fraudulent. I think they're going to finish 6-6.
We actually had Florida when we picked this before the season started. We were like, where does Florida get more than 6? Like maybe 5, maybe 6 at the most. Like this is about where we thought they would be.
I mean, they've already got 5 wins, right? Or they have 4 right now?
They have. They have 5.
Okay.
And they're going to go 1-4 in the last 5.
I got Florida 2-0.
So not covering the spread. Gotcha.
Heavy on the under.
Yeah, I'm taking Florida in this game. Who you said Florida as well, B?
Yep.
I am going to be watching this game for sure. What time does this game come on? I mean, not say for sure.
It's gonna be an 11 a.m. kick, right?
Florida, it is the 11 a.m. kick. You are correct.
It's got to be. There's no one who wants to
yeah.
watch this game.
I am going to be watching this game intently just because I want to see what kind of Arkansas offense trots out here on the field. Are they going to link? Because listen, they have pretty much abandoned the kind of RPO read option offense that they were doing with KJ Jefferson that had everybody thinking he was going to be, the reincarnation of Cam Newton.
Yeah, that's out the window. Glad we can stop that talk.
Saying that, I really wish he would have transferred to Auburn.
Yeah. What?
I would have taken KJ Jefferson over Peyton Thorne 10 times out of 10.
Yikes.
You would?
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one because I am not a believer in KJ Jefferson.
He's not good.
Yeah, I can't.
He's gotten worse every year he's been in college.
I understand the step back that he's taken this year because of the new OC, but yeah, I'm not. I ain't never been a believer in KJ. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I would take KJ over.
Listen, you are welcome to feel that way. I just cannot join you in that assessment because I ain't with it, bro. I ain't with it at all. All right, let's move on to the next one here. What other? We've already talked about that one. Let's do. This is not going to be an interesting game, but Missouri. Well, actually, this is an interesting game. Let's not do that one first. Let's do Texas A&M and Ole Miss first. Texas A&M making the trip to Ole Miss. What are we feeling about that one?
I'm drinking the haterade here. Ole Miss is way too close to winning.
Okay, I was about to say, who are you hating on here? Because both
I hate both these teams, but Ole Miss is the closest one to winning the West, and I don't want them to. So I'm gonna take A&M strictly out of hate.
Yeah, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is gonna smash them.
Ole Miss.
Jimbo about to get that buyout.
Yeah, I think this ends the Jimbo Fisher era in Texas A&M. This scatters the talent. That class gets fractured a little bit. Been looking forward to that. Been hearing more whispers about Cam Coleman. Staying close to home. I'm saying. This is what we needed to happen for it to come to pass. Not that it will, but it could. And Jimbo's got to go. His first step. So I am speaking out of what I want. It's not about what I think. It's about what I want. What I want is Jimbo to go ahead and get. Would this be his 6th loss of the season or 5th?
If Texas A&M were to lose this game, it'd just be their 4th. They're 5-3 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, they're gonna lose. We gotta get these losses up. We gotta get these L's up. Yeah, we gotta get these L's up. Yeah, he gotta lose this.
What do I want more? Do I want Ole Miss not to win the West off of an Iron Bowl win, or do I want Jimbo Fisher gone by Sunday morning? I might have to get switched to Ole Miss and just hope Georgia just stomps them to the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. Screw it.
All right,
Dylan, it would be fun to see Ole Miss in the last year of the West win it and then go to Atlanta and just get their brains beat in. I would kind of get a little.
Well, they already played Georgia anyways in the regular season.
Yeah, they do, and they're gonna lose that game.
Yeah, for sure.
At Georgia, so yeah, they have no chance.
Yeah, unfortunately, all signs point to Bama winning the freaking West again. Yeah, because even if we beat them, because Ole Miss will have their 2nd loss in the SEC. Bama won the head-to-head, so
no, LSU can beat Bama.
This LSU, that's right. We'll get to that game in just a minute. We'll get to that game in just a minute. All right. So who are you picking in this one, B. Will?
I got Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yeah, I'm taking Ole Miss too, begrudgingly. I don't really want to.
It's worth it. A&M loses $87 million if Ole Miss wins.
We need Lane Kiffin to stay at Ole Miss where he's slightly underfunded. Whoever's going to be
Ole Miss is not getting rid of Lane Kiffin, bro. They just gave him the big contract. They're not.
No, they're not. But the job opening in the West is about to come open when Jimbo is out.
And you think Lane Kiffin's going to go to Texas A&M?
I would want to go to Texas A&M and get the best recruiting class in the country.
I would want to as well. But is Texas A&M going to pay this huge buyout to Jimbo Fisher, then pay this huge buyout to get Lane Kiffin out of his contract, then have to pay him a $10 million guaranteed whatever contract as well? Are they going to spend like $50 million to get rid of Jimbo Fisher?
Wait, does Lane Kiffin have
he just re-upped his contract last year.
No, I know he did, but that doesn't mean whoever
paid him, whoever gets him has to pay it. Like sometimes they do actually put that in coaches' clauses. If you take another job,
they'd be foolish not to have re-upped him and not put that in the contract clause.
There's a way funnier outcome here that we're not talking about. What if the Raiders try to get Kiffin back?
man, stop.
And Bob Petrino gets an upgrade. He becomes the head coach at A&M. And Ed Orgeron makes his appearance back at Ole Miss.
You're just saying words now.
I'm just saying it would be hilarious. Turn the SEC into more of a soap drama than it already is.
Yeah, I don't know about all. I can't see.
I think the Raiders are a bad enough organization to where they might go back for Lane Kiffin.
So you're saying the Raiders win this game, Dylan? Is that what you're saying?
The Raiders?
Yeah, the Raiders win this game because Lane Kiffin becomes more hireable. So we lose Jimbo Fisher and Lane Kiffin in the same year.
Yeah, and then Bobby Petrino becomes the head coach at Texas A&M, and
ain't nobody hiring Bobby.
Or back at Ole Miss because Bobby Petrino fits Ole Miss very well.
Nobody's hiring Bobby Petrino.
All right,
the Jimbo did.
Like I said, nobody is hiring Bobby Petrino.
All right, let's get on to this next one. We got Missouri taking on Georgia at Georgia. Is anybody gonna pick Missouri in the upset? They're feeling good about themselves. I saw the official Missouri account trying to put the Heisman hype train up for the wide receiver there at Missouri.
I want to do it. I want to do it so bad.
Yeah, Georgia's gonna beat them down.
I do think he has a good chance to win the Biletnikoff this year. I think Heisman's a little too much though. Luther Burden's good. I don't think he's Heisman Trophy good this season.
Missouri covers.
Spread's 15.5. Georgia looked good last week without Brock Bowers. It was Florida, but
Florida's bad.
Still,
man, they got a QB, man. It took them maybe a month to get his feet up underneath them, but they can outscore people. Is that not? How is that fair?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel fair that they can actually continue to score points at the rate in which they're doing it. And especially considering they take the first half of a lot of these games off and they're still putting up like 40 points a game, bro. Like it's not okay. All right. It's not okay for you to only play half a game and still score 40, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Could this be a slap in the face game? Because this is the best team Georgia's played all year.
What's that? What's the slap in the face game?
They've not played any good teams all year. And this is the first true test they actually have.
No, I'm not buying that. I think they're going to beat them down egregiously. They're going to embarrass them. They'll have Eli Drinkowitz saying something silly in the post-game comments.
They didn't beat them down last year.
They didn't. You are correct about that.
They didn't. That's why they will beat them down this year. That is why they will beat them down this year. Oh, man. I saw Georgia take the best Tennessee team ever. They just beat Alabama. Georgia just murdered their team. That offense did absolutely squat.
Yeah, this feels like the game that they've had circled on their calendar all year. They was like, all right, this is the one we got to go out here and we got to show what's up because
the year before
they embarrassed us.
Yeah, Tennessee in 2021 they put up some points on Georgia and moved the ball against a very powerful defense. And it's not like they beat Georgia. It's not like Georgia had some get back to get. They were just like, we want to prove that was a fluke. Georgia didn't even play phenomenal defense 2022. They gave up points to people here and there throughout the season, not to the best Tennessee offense that we've seen probably in 20 years. Did nothing against this team. I think Missouri has something. Georgia wants to prove that last year was a fluke for Missouri. I mean, this offense, those players, they don't want to. They got held to 16. I think they want to. They want to show something. I think they win. 14 is what I would say. I'd be willing to bet that Georgia covers by 17. No, I think 17. I think 17 is going to be the final margin.
I like where the spread's at on this one. I think it's going to be about 15 to 16. Georgia handles it. If it was in Missouri, then I would kind of, I would entertain it, right? But no, I think it's a classic Georgia game where just over the game, they just kind of beat you at the line of scrimmage and they just kind of suffocate you. And maybe Missouri feels like they're in it, and maybe they kind of are, but they never really are type thing. It just kind of Georgia controls it the whole way. I hope Missouri can pull it out, man. I mean, Georgia's due for one, and I hope one day that Auburn is in a situation to where we're looking at a game that we won the previous year, and we're calling that a get back game. that must be
Yeah,
a
man,
nice.
because they played us too close.
Right. We only won by a little bit. Damn it, that must be nice. I need some of that in my life, bro.
Yeah. Maybe Cal will be that game next year, right? I mean, we
I
barely
hope so.
beat them. They're gonna come to the crib. We have to get some get back because those Cal fans think that they're close to us.
I said we make it at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Just to mess them up.
Yes, sir.
Y'all had us playing all late out there on the West Coast. Come on to the crib.
Yeah.
We're gonna play y'all for breakfast.
That would be fair though. Let's talk to ESPN. Who we got to talk to make that happen?
ESPN is not putting no 10 a.m. game.
Those 11 a.m. ACC games have been kicking off at 10. Those ACC games have been kicking off at 10 every week.
It's the ACC.
Cal will be in the ACC next year.
Are they putting those on ESPN or the CW network? I ain't watching an Auburn game on the CW network. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. I'll buy tickets to the game.
Bring back Jefferson Pilot, baby.
Oh, we didn't do well on those. Yeah.
Oh man, not at all. All right, and let's get into the most interesting game. You picked Georgia, right? Did you ever say for sure, Dylan, what you were going?
I really want to pick Missouri, but I'm gonna pick them to cover. Georgia's gonna win, and it's gonna make me cry.
All right, let's get into this one. LSU making the trip to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. Only a 3-point spread for Bama at home versus LSU. This says a lot, I think, about the LSU offense. They are expecting points to get put up in this game because the over-under is 60 here. Defense optional once again for an LSU game.
I think LSU's going to win this game.
Oh, be will.
I think LSU's going to win this game. And Bama has sneakily, they've looked so slow in first halves. And then second half, we kind of mocked Tommy Rees for being Tommy Rees. But then he's come out here, man, and he's made something out of nothing.
So let me be clear. I don't think I've mocked Tommy Rees other than him deciding to bring his quarterback to Tuscaloosa with him. That's really been the only thing that I'm mocking him on. He hasn't been the high profile hire that you're used to seeing. If you're previous OCs, you're talking about Lane Kiffin, Sarkisian, and what's the guy's name that went up to New England, or was it New England that he went to?
Mac?
No, not the
Belichick.
No,
O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Even though Bama fans hated Bill O'Brien, where is Bill O'Brien? Did he go to?
Yeah, he went to New England.
Okay, that's what I thought. So,
yeah.
All right. So, but then you get Tommy Rees, right? Like nobody really cares about him here in the SEC. Not that they cared about Bill O'Brien too much, but still, he didn't have the same kind of high caliber name attached to him. And so that's what people made fun of. I absolutely made fun of his quarterback, who I still don't think is very good.
I don't think he brought Tyler Buckner with him. I think Tyler Buckner just kind of sideshow bobbed under the car while Tommy Rees was on his way here. They
had a choice to bring in somebody, and they went. You can't tell me he didn't stand on the carpet and say, "Nah, man, but he's pretty good. Let's go get him." Do you think Bama really is going to go get Tyler Buckner without an okay from Tommy Rees to say, "Hey, man, you coached this kid last year. What do you think?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's give him a shot."
I mean, I hate Alabama, but I don't think there's any way they missed that much on a transfer quarterback. Nick Saban's old, but he ain't that old.
What was the kid's name that was at Florida State that came now?
Jake Coker? He has a ring, though.
Who cares? He wasn't good.
He wasn't, but he's got a ring.
That team won, and Jake Coker was not the reason. Now, he played okay in big spots. I'm not saying Jake Coker is trash. I actually think Jake Coker's a better quarterback than Tyler Buckner.
He's a great real estate agent, too.
Come on. Let's not pretend like Jake Coker was some amazing transfer quarterback.
I'm not at all. I'm just saying he's a better quarterback than Tyler Buckner.
I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks better than Tyler Buckner.
You're a bit better quarterback than Tyler Buckner, Dylan.
Oh,
I've gotten refunds from a vending machine that are better quarterback than Tyler Buckner.
Hey, I like
right. Bars.
Dad joke.
Yeah, it was a dad joke, and I like it. But you're picking LSU, B. How y'all feeling down here? We feeling?
I'm going LSU by 2 tutties.
Whoa, LSU gonna go out here and put the smoke screen on them.
You remember how it looked with the Bama fans leaving early in the Texas game? It's gonna be more of the same, bro. Like that's the best offense in the country, and I respect Bama's defense and I respect the roster that they have and blah blah blah. But yeah, man, they're going to come in there and they're going to hang up some points. And I just don't think that Bama can hang with them.
So you're saying LSU is going to win a shootout, but like they're going to. Because here's the thing, I don't know if I trust LSU's defense has actually gotten better.
No, I don't believe that at all. Give me 37-24 LSU.
I think 37-31, somewhere in that neighborhood. Bama can put on points late, but I think it's a little different when you have to throw. Like, that's the thing. They've been comfortable enough to where they've been neck and neck with people outside of the Texas game, where we dictate the terms right now because we're up or we're neck and neck. Like, I think they went in 20-10 at the half against Tennessee. They were down, but that's not enough to stop running the ball. That's not enough to stop doing and stop being balanced. If you are down 14, if you're down 17, now you got to make some decisions. And when they have to throw, I don't think they're going to be good at it, which is why Texas was able to control the game because they had to throw. That's
fair. If you're in a situation where you have to throw the football, I would say that it's going to be difficult. I'm going to take Bama in this game, man. Here's the thing. I don't believe in LSU's defense. I think that they have a phenomenal offense. I do think that this is going to be a bit of a shootout. I think Bama is going to try to control clock in this one, and they're just going to try to go play bully ball against LSU. And I think that they've got the horses up front to be able to do that. But you're right. If it gets to a situation where Bama's got to throw the ball, I think that they're toast. I don't know that they're going to be able to do that. They're going to have to try to play keep away, which is what every team has tried to do against LSU so far this year. Nobody has successfully been able to do that. Ole Miss tried to win a shootout. Missouri tried to win a shootout. We tried to play keep away. That didn't work. Arkansas tried to win a shootout.
Well, Ole Miss did win the shootout against LSU.
Oh, you're right. Ole Miss won the shootout. Arkansas is who I was trying to think of. Tried to win a shootout, right? And I just don't know that you can do that with them. Like, I just don't think shootout is the way to go with them. They are way more equipped to win this. So I think Alabama's going to try to do the opposite. They're going to try to grind it to a halt. They're going to try to just knock people around for 4 quarters. And I think that they're going to come out with a narrow victory in Tuscaloosa. Okay. Plus, listen, man, it's at home, SEC officials.
That's true. So the issue with that is that Bama doesn't actually play better at home.
No, the SEC officials play better at home.
Yeah, but it's SEC officials for both ways. I think.
When has LSU gotten a benefit of SEC officials unless they've had super quarterback on the other end, Joe Burrow?
I was about to say 2019.
Do you know why that was the year they got it? The SEC. Okay, can we 10 for a half for a minute? Can we 10 for a half?
Why not? We're here.
I already know where you're going. I agree with you.
Thank you, Justin. The SEC has favored Bama. We've seen refs favor Bama because Bama has been the SEC's best chance at getting into a championship or a playoff. The SEC is going to favor, and the refs are going to favor the team that has the best chance of winning in the postseason, so that we can get all these accolades. Oh, the SEC. Eventually, years and years and years of domination equals great TV deal because we're winning all these championships. Why? Because you put your best team in the postseason to go against other teams, right? Now, in the years where Bama wasn't the best team, they stopped getting the advantage. Why? LSU's our best chance this year. Have you seen the numbers? 2019 is what I'm saying. When LSU was the clear-cut better team, they got the calls. Georgia. Listen, if they are the team that has the best advantage or the best chance, you're going to get the favor and the calls go in that direction. It's just so happens when Saban first got to Bama, he was kind of the only show in town for like 4 or 5 years. So there was nobody to really rival him. But if you see a neck and neck opportunity where, hey, either team could represent us real well, I think they have a better chance of calling it fair in those cases. LSU or Bama wins out. It doesn't matter. And they've still got to face Georgia. It doesn't really matter. If you get LSU versus Georgia part 2 in the SEC championship game, gangbuster numbers with that offense, with either one of those offenses. If you get Bama versus Georgia in the SEC championship game, Saban versus Kirby again, oh man, this is crazy. To stop the three-peat, box office numbers. There's no way, there's no outcome of this game that is more favorable than the other as far as what it does for TV ratings and what it does for the national picture. That's why
I don't think the refs go either way for this one. I think
All
it could
right.
be called as fairly as any college football game is played because refs do
We're gonna
just
revisit this on Sunday when it's an obvious cheating call for Bama, and I'm be like, I tried to tell you, bro. Tried to tell you.
Okay. I'm just okay. I'm gonna take the 10-4 hat off. Okay, we're good.
I will say the last week, the Heisman frontrunner is JJ McCarthy, which is an absolute joke and has since showed that the Heisman Trophy is now just a joke of an award. I think Jaden Daniels is about to walk into Bryant-Denny Stadium and prove that he should be in the conversation.
I think they're being super disrespectful to Jaden Daniels in this Heisman conversation right
Clear
now.
cut.
They're
It's not
being
really close.
super disrespectful to him in this conversation, bro. Like, I'm like, what are we looking at? Now, that's the one thing I'll rally behind. They might want to give a little love to Jaden Daniels so that we can have an SEC Heisman guy. But
Yeah,
come on, man. What are we doing?
It's disrespectful to everybody who is ranked below JJ McCarthy.
I haven't watched any Michigan games. You know, it's easy to be a really good quarterback when you have all the intel on the other team.
Well, they're playing like Helen Keller's school for the deaf and blind and JV schools in Michigan. Like, they're not playing anybody. And
where I don't know. All I know is Jaden Daniels deserves a little bit more love. But so everybody else is going LSU in this game?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Well, all right. That's it for our picks right now in this one. We will go to our break and then we'll get into some of your comments before we start talking about this week's game versus Vanderbilt. You all are watching the Midweek Report. This edition of the War Report is brought to you by our generous sponsors. AuburnSports.com. For news and notes on all things Auburn sports, head over to AuburnSports.com. When you work out, grill out, and chill out, you deserve the best life possible, and Golden's Cast Iron is here to provide the tools to help you do it. Check them out at goldenscastiron.com. And our giveaway sponsor, War Eagle Oil. For all of your motor oil and related products, head over to wareagleoil.com. Thank you to the sponsors of the War Report. Thank you to those of you who continue to patronize us with memberships, and we appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to join and get access to all of these perks you see on your screen, make sure that you go ahead and click that join button. Doing great things over here with these film reviews. It's a great time having these conversations with y'all. I love the lunchtime film reviews that we've been able to get during football season. And you guys have been great. If you are a member and you want to gift memberships, just like Auburn Dad has done today, we appreciate him for doing that. You can go ahead and gift membership. Somebody will get a free month of membership on you and be able to take advantage of all those things. Hashtag get your weight up right now in the live chat to be able to be a part of this draw. And we'll do that here in about 20 minutes. And then make sure you check out the network. We are here with the guys from the network, College Loop, Uptempo Podcast. We at the Auburn Express. Also, show sponsor tonight is Lynch Toyota. Lynch Toyota of Auburn is the premier dealership serving all of the Toyota needs for all of you. If you have stuff like you want to get a new car, go shop online, lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. Maybe you need to get your vehicle service and you're in the Auburn area. lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. Go schedule yourself your appointment. Maybe you want to shop for some of their certified pre-owned vehicles. You're not in the market for a Toyota, something else. Don't worry. lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. Whatever you need, a buy, a sell, trade, service your vehicle, make sure you shop Lynch Toyota of Auburn for the best customer experience. Get started now at lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. All Toyotas are created equal. Lynch Toyota makes the difference. All right. We're going to be talking difference makers here for the Auburn football team. We have this game coming up with Vanderbilt this weekend. Let's take a look at the head-to-head with Vandy coming up. Vanderbilt currently 2-7. So because, they played that week 0 game. So they have, that one additional game. They've already played their bye week. But Auburn sitting right now at an even 4-4 game this Saturday at 3 p.m. on the SEC network. Auburn is favored by 12.5 points. The over-under is at 49 right now. ESPN Football Power Index has an 84.1% chance for Auburn to win this game. As has been noted many times by the Auburn historians in our chat, we are tied currently with Vanderbilt 21-21 and one tie as the overall record for them. So like back in the 50s and 40s, Vanderbilt was apparently putting them things to Auburn. I saw one score where we lost by like 40 something points. We didn't even score in the game. It was like 49-0 or something like that, bro. Like they was really taking Auburn through the ringer back in the day, bro.
Wow.
Last meeting was November 5th of 2016, where Auburn prevailed 23-16. Auburn is like 13-2 in the last 15 meetings or something like that, bro. So in the recent history, it's been going in Auburn's direction. The question is whether or not Auburn can continue that momentum and win the football game in Nashville versus Vanderbilt. How are we feeling about the game? I already got your confidence levels. We were somewhere between a loopy 9 and a not so optimistic 5. Right. So we'll average that to a 7 and say our confidence level as a network is around a 7 for those represented today. But let's talk about how we feel like Auburn is going to perform in this game, right? Like, what are the things that you feel like Auburn needs to do to go out here and get this dub, man? I will start with Dylan. Dylan, what are you feeling about this game, man?
I need to see another Jarquez Hunter 140 plus yard rushing performance, and I'm also going to need another solid performance out of Peyton Thorne. Just an all around. I think this offense to play like they did in that first half against Mississippi State, but make it 2 halves.
Okay. Dylan, what do you think? And I got the vintage premium stats up here just in case we want to refer to this. Looking at the Auburn offense versus the Vandy defense. Now, of course, this is just head-to-head statistically, not what they've actually done historically or anything. But so far this year, and I brought this up on our morning drop on Monday, Vanderbilt's given up a lot of points, and they're giving up a lot of points at home. 34.2 points per game is what they have surrendered thus far this season. Can Auburn's offense stay on track and take the show on the road? That was part of your cautious nature in what you were given as your number, Dustin. What are you feeling about Auburn on the road offensively? What do you need to see from them in this game?
You know, in the presser Monday when Hugh was asked kind of what the game plan was and how that all went into the decision to go up tempo versus Mississippi State. And he said, I walked into the offensive meetings and I said, this is a plan and this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So whatever that plan was, do that. Continue to do that the rest of the year. And really, bro, I was never really worried about the second half because I don't think we're that great of a football team. And even for good football teams, it's hard to put together 4 quarters of really we're just firing on all cylinders in the SEC.
Listen, Georgia hasn't done it at all. Right. Like the closest that you're going to get is maybe that Florida game but like even there, I think the first quarter was a little
Yeah.
So 4 quarters of dominant football, not an easy thing to do. Correct. Continue. My bad.
Yeah, there's good defense. Best defense you played in a while, like y'all been talking about all week. You looked at Ole Miss, you looked at LSU, and I don't think that the offensive game plan of control the clock and all, like I got it at the time, right? It made sense what we were trying to do in the Ole Miss and LSU game on offense because you look at our lack of depth on defense. I mean, everything that we knew going into it, and you're trying to slow down those high-powered offenses, and ultimately Hugh had to come in and say, look, this just isn't working. What you did Saturday allowed Peyton Thorne to get comfortable. I don't think that it's a coincidence that he stays in the whole game and he looks more comfortable than he has all season. I think those things go hand in hand. So do that. And then like Dylan said, I got it wrote down for our Friday show, Jarquez 125 yards. And this time, you know, these last 2 weeks, I feel like Jarquez should have had more carries than he had. I know he had 140 plus last week, but the way he's eating right now, he's getting hot at the right time in a winnable stretch of games. I need to see Jarquez have 25 touches. And I'm not talking about like combined receptions. I want 25 handing him the rock and letting him pound it. So just run the ball like Auburn does, and they're going to give you the opportunities. Like our defense is already really good at creating turnovers. You're going to get more of those opportunities. Just capitalize on them. My big key in this game, is don't be stupid. If you just show up,
don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Like just pull the gun away from your foot, and just you ain't got to blow your foot off today. Just show up, do what you got to do, get off the bus, and don't be dumb. And you cover this spread.
Okay. All right. Listen, I am not mad at that. That's all I've been preaching this entire week is listen, if you come there and you handle business like you're supposed to, this game should not be in doubt. Yeah. Right now, whether it will be in doubt or not, I don't know the answer to that. What I know is it shouldn't be. From a talent perspective, You should be able to go here and handle business. Unlike some people who try to question the competency of this coaching staff, I think we have a good enough coaching staff to go out here and win this football game. So you've got the talent, you've got the coaching, go out there and execute the game plan. And the game plan for everybody this year has been score a bunch of points against Vandy. Everybody's put up points against Vandy, man. Hawaii's the only team sub 30 on these boys.
Yeah.
Be Will. What you feeling offensively for Auburn? What's it looking like for you?
Offensively, we've got to eclipse 30. We've got to get over 30 points. I think it would be embarrassing to not score more than 30 against this team. Not only are they not good defensively, if they're giving up 174 rush yards a game, like it's not that can't happen when you're playing a quality team, but that I think at one point we were the leading rushing team in the conference. I think we're like third now, if I'm not mistaken. And we're here at 186. They were giving up 174, which I'm pretty sure is the most in the conference. You've got to be able to just have your way on the ground with this team, and that should make everything else easier.
Yeah.
We saw the tempo happening.
Yeah. We
saw that it was a benefit to Peyton Thorne. A lot of the stuff that Hugh Freeze was saying was, well, yeah, tempo is that's what he originally had an advantage with when he was coaching offense and run pass option, which we saw more of. It seems like all the things that he talked about he wanted to do since the beginning of the season, they finally said, okay, let's do them, and it worked. All right, well, let's do some more of that stuff then. Let's score some more points, please. Like we got at least one team who should be a serious uphill battle, and that's Bama. They're a good enough defense. They're a good enough offense to be a serious Iron Bowl clash at the end of the year. All of this I see us doing between now and then is building up to that, making some good habits between now and then. Because even if you knew that your best coaching philosophy was up tempo with RPO, you still got to do it. You still got to do it. We've done it. For a half? For one half of football this year, we looked like Hugh Freeze wanted us to look.
Right.
That's not enough. We got to look like this, to Dustin's point, for more than 2 quarters. For more than 3, you
3 and a half,
be able
bro.
to play
3 and a half, and then take your foot off the gas, laugh after for a quarter, bro. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Get comfortable doing what you think is best for the personnel that you have on the field. So if this is your personnel, this is what we're going to go with. All right, now let's get really good at running what we can run. Now, we may have some advantage here for the end of the year in that we haven't looked good on offense for more than a half. We got a lot in the tuck that should be able to surprise some people because we haven't been doing it. It's usually you take what works and then work off of that when people stop what works. We didn't really have much work in this season until last game. So
right,
there should be a lot still in the tuck that these coaches have able to use, able to take advantage of when we see any opponent. So I expect whatever we're gonna show Arkansas should work. I don't think it's ever going to be a problem of, well, they've seen everything we've got, so they should be able to slow us down. No, they shouldn't. No. Do what you do. You've got 2 great offensive minds, 2 minds on the offensive staff that are both their own offense in their own right. Like each one of them is a whole offensive playbook onto themselves. We should have plenty of stuff to work with, plenty of things to work from. I expect us to dominate because Vandy is very bad. I would be really disappointed if we don't get over 30 guys. Like, I mean, we shouldn't score less than 35 points. We should not. Their offense is bad. Their main quarterback, the one that's in question because he might be hurt, he's awful. And behind him are 2 guys that they can't decide whether awful A or awful B.
We'll get into their awful offense here in just a minute, but you are not wrong.
Yeah. I'm bringing that up because they're going to turn the ball over because they're not good. They're not good. We're going to get the ball. We're going to get some short fields. This should be a going away victory. We should win this one going away. They shouldn't be able to stop us. If we don't get past 30, now I'm side-eyeing.
Yeah.
The offense again, and we're right back to being skeptical of that offense. This is a very bad team we're about to play.
Yeah, don't disagree with you. All right, let's get over here into some of these comments. You guys have been giving us a lot of comments. We haven't acknowledged enough of what you've been doing. Got a couple of super chats here. We'll get it kicked off with B Hill's Forehead, who says, "My aunt is annoying and a single mom." All right. don't know where this is going. She's also the biggest bandwagon Bama fan and works at Vandy and LSU, and Vandy loss would be beautiful. Just shade to your aunt. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what's up. Auburn dad jumps in and says, sorry, I've been MIA, but PTSD in real life had me down. Glad to be back and on live. And we're going 4-0, including beating Bama. Auburn dad, first and foremost, listen, man, you do not have to apologize for handling life. We're glad that you are still here to be able to be with us. You have been an amazing part of our community from the beginning. It was a pleasure meeting you in person when we did our tailgate last season, and definitely glad to see that you are back up and moving around and doing things. Appreciate you coming back and spending some time with us on a Wednesday, man. You are always welcome to do that, but never apologize for handling life, my man, ever. Go and continue to do that. Flourish. The War Report will be always in your corner, my man. So I appreciate you very much. Shout out to Cameron Carr for gifting a couple of memberships there, 10 gifted memberships. So hopefully you all enjoy those memberships gifted by Cameron. Let's see. Black Wing says motivation. They scheduled us for homecoming. They did do that. It is senior day and homecoming at Vanderbilt in the construction zone stadium. I don't know what they're calling that stadium right now. So yes, hopefully that's some sort of motivation. Like I said, listen, bro, if you got to be on that Jordan tip and you take everything as disrespect, it's like, man, you saw when that dude looked out the corner of his eye at me. It's like, man, he can't help it, bro. He's cockeyed. I don't care. I think it's disrespectful. You better straighten your eye before you look at me, son. Like, whatever you have to use to get your mind right, do that, man.
They can just watch. They can just watch film of all their road performances so far, and that should be plenty of motivation for them coming into this game Saturday.
Man, for real.
Yeah. Listen. That should be all the motivation necessary. Go watch that first drive versus Cal and say we can't do this again. Go watch how many fumbles did we have in the Cal game? Go watch every turnover possession that you had versus Cal that derailed every drive that you had, and go watch your Texas A&M film on the road.
Oh, that first drive versus A&M was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, wonderful. Go watch all of that. All 3 points that you put up on the road versus Texas A&M offensively. Yes.
I hadn't thought about that Peyton Thorne shovel pass to Jackson Sermon since it happened. And
I think about it often, actually. I literally every time he has started a game since then, that's the first image I get in my head is, God, please don't let him ever do that again.
That thinking about that play makes me really want to go grab my Robbie Ashford jersey. And that's all.
You don't have to front, Dylan. We know you got it on the sweatshirt. You ain't got to go grab it.
I'm always wearing it. Don't worry.
Dylan has the number 9 tattooed right here over his heart, bro. But it's for Eugene Asante.
I'm about to say big Eugene guy.
Yeah. Let's work. Let's work.
Blake Slaughter jumps in and says, Ike, you've been asking if anybody knows a Vandy fan. I teach near Nashville, and one of my students is a season ticket holder, and she's been talking trash all week.
For baseball?
Oh.
Wow.
She's young. She's young.
That's one. Wait a minute. Season ticket holder. She probably just graduated. She hasn't been removed from the school long enough to realize that this is fruitless use of her money and time. That's what the problem is.
Well, he says he teaches near Nashville, so
right.
I'm guessing.
I think it's a child. Is it a child?
Yeah, it might be a child whose family has season tickets.
Oh, that don't count either.
She doesn't know. Only a child in their innocence would actually be a Vandy fan that talks trash. It's got to be somebody under 16 years old.
You grew up in that. Like, that's not the same. You've been poisoned your entire life. It's like, when you live underground in like the sewers your entire life, and you think this is what life is supposed to be like. You get outside in the sun, you're like, it's real football teams out here.
Oh, okay. So there we go. High school. Her family has tickets.
Yeah, that don't count. Don't count.
I got you. Do what I do. If so, I told some of the Bama fans in my classes, if they come and talking crap, they're gonna have a lot of work they have to do that week. If they walk into my classroom and start talking a lot of crap about the Iron Bowl, if it doesn't go the way that I think it's gonna go, they better have
don't go in our direction, y'all better shut up. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're gonna have like 3 or 4 test grades that week.
Yeah. Listen, I approve. I approve of that level of petty. I'm with it.
Oh, I eat, sleep, and breathe petty.
I'm with it, sir. Let's do that. Scorpio in the squad says, damn, he's right. I remember LSU getting away with holes in 2019 and this year. Hey, listen, man.
Telling you.
Yeah,
Man, the bad
conspiracy theories that
back.
abound with B. Will, he's converting some people right now.
You got to use your mental mind. Use your mentals.
The repressed memories of Derek Brown getting held every play are coming back.
Every play, bro. Every single freaking play. Bro.
Why? Because why would you? Well, a 3-loss Auburn team doesn't need to beat LSU and ruin it. No. Just let
Only one loss at that point.
Yeah, but they had seen us play offense on the road. They saw freshman Bo Nix. He wasn't it. So they were, no, we gotta let Joe Burrow and them do it.
Yeah, they knew who Gus Malzahn was.
Man, if we didn't throw that 50-50 ball to Seth Williams at halftime,
Who knows?
I don't even.
knows?
I'm moving on from this comment because this is making me mad. James Barnett says if Jaden Daniels beats Bama and Georgia, the Heisman would be a lock. Thoughts? This is true. There's no way he doesn't walk out of there without a Heisman Trophy if he beats both of those teams.
Heisman voters are stupid.
There's no way you screw Jaden Daniels if he beats both of those teams at Tuscaloosa and the defending national champion in Atlanta.
I'm just saying they voted for stupider for people. Stetson Bennett found a way in New York last year.
He didn't win though.
He didn't win, but he was up there for some reason.
I don't care who put up there in New York with him.
Yeah, undefeated season national championship the previous year. I mean, that's just kind of like it's a lifetime achievement award at that point. Like, hey,
and that is my problem with it, and that's why you haven't heard me make one comment about the Heisman. I don't take it serious. It's a joke. It's been a joke for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You say it's about the best player, and then there's 2 positions, really one that can win the thing. That's a joke.
Yeah, Devonta Smith was the last person who
really deserved to win. You have to be a quarterback, a running back, or a wide receiver, right? The wide receivers barely get in there.
Even that CMC should have won it over Derrick Henry. I don't get how that.
Yeah, we actually talked about this on one of the. You might have been on that one.
I was. I'm a Panthers fan, and I hate Alabama. I might sound biased, but Christian McCaffrey should have won that Heisman.
Listen, I'm not a Panthers fan, and I hate Alabama, but I am a 49ers fan. That has nothing to do with me feeling like Christian McCaffrey was deserving that year. So, I just listen. Listen. Unless they lay an egg somewhere else in this situation, bro, like there's no way you can tell me Jaden Daniels doesn't walk into Tuscaloosa, beat Bama, and go into Atlanta and beat Georgia, and he's not standing up there on that podium with the Heisman Trophy in his hands. Yeah, not the way he's been shredding defenses this year.
Yeah.
Trying to think of
I can't imagine what in the world would Michael Penix would have to throw for 1,000 yards in a game.
Because there's nobody that impressive on his schedule anymore. Those 2 teams are better than any team Washington plays for the rest of the year.
Well, Washington has Oregon on their schedule.
The problem,
but that's one, and Jaden Daniels would have won 2, and one is the
problem. The problem is, and this is where I can see. And let me backtrack on all this. I'm just saying is because right now the front runner is the dude at Michigan. So if he goes and he beats Ohio State, then they're gonna try to pretend like it was some phenomenal feat. That I'm sorry, Bama and Georgia, bro, on the road and darn near on the road in Atlanta. I don't know, man.
I know y'all hate them, but don't be sleeping on that Penn State defense against Michigan.
I mean, I don't care.
Stop. Would you just? Stop.
I didn't say the offense. That's a Penn State defense. That's
I think Penn State has a great.
Somebody on Penn State's defense is going to win the Heisman? Or
no,
what?
I'm saying that's a formidable defense for him if he goes and he does something.
Because you went ahead and went to Ohio State. I'm just saying, that's going to be a hiccup right there. Watching this.
So I'm talking about the way the national media views the matchup, and that is a big LSU versus Bama is a big game every single year. So that's their regular season huge game that's on the matchup. So it would be the same thing as Michigan. And that's not the same thing. It's a much bigger matchup as far as national stuff. But Michigan and Ohio State's the big matchup for them. So as far as landmark victories, I think that you only get one on his. But if Jaden Daniels gets those 2, he wins, in my opinion. But whatever. I don't get a Heisman vote. I'm just as some people in the sphere of Auburn media like to say, just a fan with a website. So I don't get a vote in the Heisman situation. So
It's the dude with the mic on YouTube. That's all I am.
Yeah. Damian Smith says, if Auburn's equipment truck shows up with the gear, Auburn wins. I like this energy all day, baby. We just got to show up and play football, bro. Like that's the brass tacks of it. Show up, win. Get all this other nonsense. Blake Robinson says Vandy will have more offensive yards, but our turnover creating defense will win it. I can't get with you on this one. No, if they have more yards than us in this game and we are playing this bend but don't break crap and we're not enforcing our will and choking the clock out offensively, I'm going to be mad. I'm sorry. Now, if we win still, I am going to be happy about the win, but I'm going to feel like something was broken for us offensively if they end up having more yards than us in this game.
I would say this is going to be a big game for DJ James because he's going to be guarding Will Shepherd, who's a really underrated.
Will Shepherd plays because he is hurt.
True.
So,
but Jaden McGowan is also faster than probably everybody in the SEC. So DJ James going to have to step up big time.
It's gonna be a game where I feel like Auburn's defense, and we'll talk about the flip side of that coin here when we get back from doing this drawing. But Auburn's defense has got to prove some stuff too, as far as being able to stop the run and all that. But anyway, let's go to this giveaway, and then we'll flip it over to the other side of the coin. We are giving away this lovely mug, courtesy of War Eagle Oil. Make sure you guys have your hashtags in there because I am not going to be waiting all day. Y'all have had an hour and something of me talking about this to get into it. So somebody's got to win this, John. Let's get straight to this drawing. Who is going to win today, courtesy of War Eagle Oil? Today's winner is Maximum Effort. All right. We will see if Maximum Effort is in the place. He is normally here, so he just literally
commented like a minute ago.
Just commented like a minute ago. So once the delay catches up, he'll see this. Let's flip it over to the other side while we're waiting on him and talk about the Auburn defense versus the Vanderbilt offense. We just talked about the necessity of us keeping these wide receivers for Vanderbilt under wraps with our DBs and the run game, keeping that under wrap. How are we feeling about this? He gone equals throw it back. He already got a mug? Is that what he's trying to tell me? He's already got a mug?
Are you just being facetious saying he gone because you're?
I mean, because this would go with the bit from the with the Deadpool mask. He just chaos for no reason. We'll wait and see if he responds to that. All right. But I will let you continue down the road of talking about the wonderful quarterbacks that reside in Vanderbilt. Go for it.
Yeah. So one thing that we can see here, based on this graphic, is their average in first downs and points are both what our defense typically allows. And one thing, one metric we're going to have to find and look up is how far below or above a team's average does our defense hold the other team? Because I feel like that's
actually that's a metric I plan on looking at when we get into a game that I feel like matters. But yeah, I like that. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. So Auburn holds teams a little below their usuals. And if these are their usuals, then Vandy kind of, it's a little smoke and mirrors with the first downs because they're behind a lot. So they're going to get yards late. Their fourth quarters are going to be filled with garbage yards as teams play, two deeps and play safe to keep them from trying to come back. But they're going to get yards up. They're not throwing. I can't say they're not a better passing team than us because honestly, AJ Swan has made some good passes. They throw a lot more than they run. They're not necessarily balanced, partially because they have to score points to catch up because they're not physical enough to just run the ball and get yards that way. But also because, like I said, they're bad. So I think we're going to hold them below, definitely below their first down norm, below their points per game norm. I am a little iffy on if we're going to hold them under that passing yards total, specifically because we get up like we should, like we expect to force them to do some passing, even if it's not successful. And they turn the ball over trying to catch back up. We get the ball, we control clock, we score. Their time of possession is not good either. You can see 27 minutes. That means you don't have the ball. The other team has the ball because they are possessing it because you can't stop the run. So other teams get what they want. You get the ball back. You got to throw it a lot, try to catch up. You can't. The clock stops, so you don't have it very long as far as terms of clock possession time. This is academic. Yeah, it's playing Vanderbilt right second to me. We should win this game. They are not good. I would be very disappointed if anything but domination happens. I'm not saying that it can't look like, 17-7 in the second quarter. That's fine. That's fine. By the third quarter, we should be up a full 14 points or more. And what I expect from this team is that once we get up 2 full possessions plus, that lead does not shrink. They do not catch up. Now, that's something I expect from our defense. I don't know if it's fair to expect big plays from us at this point because it's kind of a thing with us. Like, we're going to give up some explosives, but we're not going to give up a lot of points. Vanderbilt might be the first team that we don't even give up those explosives. Like, they're really
got an explosive versus Georgia.
They did, but I don't feel like we can judge them off of
They
that.
got one versus Florida.
Effort. Yeah, and they also got beat down by those teams. So, I mean,
yeah, they did. I'm just saying, you say that they're not going to get the explosives. They've been getting them this year, just randomly in every game. That usually is the only thing that results in a real score from them is that explosive play, because they either score on it or they get in scoring position, and then they're not able to replicate that for the remainder of the game. But they've done it.
Right. I hope that this is our most complete game to date, both sides of the ball. And being able to not only they have been able to score some explosives, but they're really injured. Quarterback, best wide receiver. Like everything's in our favor in this game, except for the fact that they're at home.
I think everything's in our favor. But
right, yeah. So I know Clark Lee has kind of gotten the benefit of the doubt, and he's like, I don't know. Everybody's like, I don't know, Vanderbilt. Like, yeah, this team is not that team. They're 2 best offensive players left at the end of last year. That's quarterback Mike Wright and running back Ray Davis. They left. Everything that made them dangerous walked out the door. They had to start over, and all those players are worse than their best players from last year. Academic, we should be able to control this game, both sides of the ball. I don't want Vanderbilt to score more than 17. I think 17, including garbage points, okay. Like 10 in while you're really trying, while the game's still in doubt, 17 in garbage time total. Yes, I'm cool with that. Anything more than that, and I'm side-eyeing our defense because this team is bad.
I feel that. Let's get back. Well, he did say he does want us to draw again. So let me go ahead and hit this drawing again while we continue the conversation. Somebody's got to win this mug. Who's it going to be? The winner now is Scorpio in the squad. If you're here, still here, let us know. Let's go down there to Dustin. Dustin, how you feeling about what we're seeing? Auburn's defense, what do you want to see from them versus Vanderbilt?
92.8 yards a game rushing is pretty terrible. So I would imagine you can force them to be one-dimensional. And we have obviously we've struggled to get pass rush before, right? Rob Roberts has had to scheme up ways to get it. But if there's no threat of them running the ball, then I feel like that kind of puts you in good possession to get some pressure. Like I said earlier, they're going to give us opportunities, and we've made the most of those opportunities, really. I mean, Puckett getting the interception. I mean, really, Cam Riley's been the only guy that's kind of struggled to catch the ball. And
Cam Riley
but he played well, for sure. But he did play well overall last week. It was one of his better games. But yeah, the opportunities will present themselves. So just same thing I said on offense about like dumb penalties and killing yourself. Same thing on defense, man. They might hit a big player too. You know, they got the really good receiver, Shepard, but ultimately there's just this is a cakewalk for us, man. Like you look at Ole Miss, you look at LSU, the offenses that we've been playing lately. Even I think Mississippi State's offense, they worry me more than this Vanderbilt offense. If you can't run the ball in the SEC, 92.8, I'm not worried about you, bro. I'm just not.
So this is what's deceptive about that 92.8 that I do want to point out is they've been playing from behind a lot in these games. So they've abandoned the run pretty early. It's not that they can't run. They're not great at it. Like, don't get me wrong. They just haven't been in any games long enough to be able to stay with their run game to try to do something. They didn't have a choice last week versus Ole Miss because, you know, God bless him, Walt Taylor came in the game. They had to go to this read option offense, and he is not the guy you want sitting back there trying to pick a defense apart. So they ran a little bit more late in that game versus Ole Miss just out of necessity. But they do have a decent running back. They have a decent offensive line. They're not very good at pass blocking. And them getting down early in all these games, they've just had to abandon the run. But that's what we need to do. We need to do the same thing. Make them abandon run, turn them into, as B Will said, turn them into a one-dimensional offense because they have no choice. They can't just keep running the football and running clock out. But yeah, if they go crazy on us on the run, bro, I promise I'm old.
Do you have any concern with Eugene being banged up this week?
That is concerning. Because that means that we're back down a linebacker there in the interior. So you're going to see more Cam Riley, Wesley Steiner out there.
Well, Keys is supposedly back. So, I mean,
Keys is, but when Keys was gone, Cam Riley and Wesley Steiner were playing a lot more. So you lose Asante out of that group. They're going to rotate 4 guys, and those are the 4 guys that you got there.
Yeah.
So, Scorpio in the squad is here and ready to receive his mug. So you need to be doing the necessary, and that is giving us an email so that we can get that for you out there. Email business@thewarreport with your address, and we will make sure that we get that out there in the mail to you as soon as we can. We appreciate you as always. Just make sure you hit us with that address, and we'll get it out there to you. All right, Dylan, how you feeling? Vandy's offense versus this Auburn defense.
Are we operating under the assumption that neither AJ Swan or Will Sheppard are going to be playing?
I would not operate under that assumption. I would assume both of them would be available. How effective? Here's the thing, and B. Will said this earlier. I don't think AJ Swan's particularly good. He is more so. Ken Seals is risk averse, right? Like he's going to take a sack. He's not going to. AJ Swan's not. AJ Swan's a guy who's like, just throw it.
Right.
And he trusts his arm and his athleticism, and he thinks he can make all the plays on the field. AJ Swan's probably going to throw you a couple.
Yeah.
If Ken Seals throws an interception, it's probably going to be like a tip pass or like it's some kind of trap coverage, right? Like he's very risk averse. He's very like, I want to take care of the football kind of guy. And then Walt Taylor is just not, is from what I saw in limited opportunities there versus Ole Miss, just not a very accurate passer. So they're not trying to throw the ball very much with him. But I would operate under the assumption that AJ Swan wants to come back and play this game for their homecoming. And Will Sheppard's going to try to tough it out. I don't know what percentage he's going to be able to be out there and play. I would say that there's a good chance we see both of those guys.
Yeah, because I've always been a little higher on AJ Swan. I think he has the talent to develop into a very good quarterback. I just think
of the 3, he's easily the best.
Yeah, and I think he's just at the wrong place to develop into that great quarterback that is hiding below that Vanderbilt uniform. But this game just comes down to DJ James. Can he keep up with McGowan, and can he cover hopefully a banged up Will Sheppard? If Will Sheppard's healthy, then I'm a little worried about DJ James's ability to stay on target. I don't think there's anybody who's taken a hit in his draft stock like DJ James has this season. And it comes down to those 2 right there, because this team's going to want to pass the ball a lot. They don't really have a runner anymore after Ray Davis left. All they got is 2 nobody running backs. They're going to try to pass the ball. And if AJ Swan and Will Sheppard are healthy enough to go, I'd be a little worried at first until I see something from Auburn's top 2 corners. And even Kay and Lee, I'm a little worried about if he's on Jay McGowan, because he's had some plays where he's definitely looked like a true freshman in coverage. So it could be a trap game. I'm highly confident Auburn's going to win. But it could be a trap game if the secondary ain't prepared. But I'm expecting some J. Simp interceptions in this game.
Yeah, listen, I'm not. It could be a trap game, but come on, man. I ain't trying to be sitting here talking about no Vandy, barely winning. Nah, man. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, bro. Don't do that to me.
I said I'm confident Auburn's going to win.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this team. Don't do this to me, man. Don't make me have to get on here on Sunday after this game and talk about us barely eking out a win versus Vanderbilt, man. Don't do it. I ain't trying to see that, man, because my heart can't take it, man. It can't.
Just be prepared for Vanderbilt's best. Be prepared for that.
Listen, I think
you can be ready for that.
Vandy's going to play their little hearts out. They are. They're going to play their little hearts out. Their little,
Yeah, I don't
pre-med
think
and architectural and engineering hearts out.
I don't think any team has that. This is our Super Bowl game. The thing is, it's the Super Bowl, like that phenomenal effort, because it only happens once per season, and like that's your game. You can't muster like 2 or 3 of those. Like maybe you got one, maybe 1.5, but like that's not like if you gave Georgia 20, but then you got mud stumped by Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss defense isn't as good as Georgia's defense. Like we get it. You put all every spirit bomb energy you could muster. You put in that Georgia game. You lost, and that's what you got for the rest of the season. Like there aren't any more emotional highs from this team. They're just bad. This is whatever's left. This is what's left right here, and we just get to roll over them. This should be easy.
It should be. Like I said, I listen. I don't want our team walking in there overconfident and looking past them. Coach Hugh Freeze does not seem like he is the kind of coach that wants to allow his team to do that.
No,
but listen, there's still everybody in the back of your mind goes into certain situations like, man, this is gonna be, and then you get hit in the mouth and you're like, wait, what? We're not supposed to be in no dogfight with this team.
right.
I don't want us to be on that kind of time this weekend, bro. Let's just go out here and blitz these fools, man. Literally, figuratively, all that, man. Just put them out of their misery early, bro.
And if we do that, Ike, not only will I feel good about obviously the execution and the actual winning, but I think that'd be another step forward for the program. It would show growth in the locker room and in the program to me, because maybe I'm just a pessimistic guy that's been an Auburn fan for 32 years now, but I'm expecting us to come out and struggle, and I think we're going to win. But right now I'm leaning like 24-13-ish kind of range. And I'm hoping that again, that's just,
listen, I understand where that
saying?
skepticism is birthed from. I have witnessed, shoot, I was watching us struggle with them like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
like I just in recent history, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. I get where that comes from. I watched us lose to them.
Yeah, we always seem to catch them at the wrong time too. We called them in 2012. They called us back at 07. It's like, man, how do y'all always catch us right here? Y'all didn't catch us in 04. Y'all didn't see us in 2010.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we come out and blow the doors off of them, man, then I will look at it and say, okay, that shows me some maturity in this locker room. Because Cadillac stood up and gave a rousing speech, and you had lost a bunch of games, and you can say, hey, man, we're not going to lose today at home. We're not going to keep losing all these games. Sure. Can you muster it up again on the road at what's going to be the Auburn High Phoenix City game that I attended 2 weeks ago? Probably had more people in the stands than what Vanderbilt's going to bring to the table Saturday, right? So in that dead atmosphere, because that's hard sometimes on the road. Like, I feel like it would be easier to get up if you were going, well, it didn't work out for us, but like to a place like Baton Rouge, a big game. You're going to a dead atmosphere with the scoreboards hanging from a freaking crane. Like, it would show a lot of growth to me if this team showed up and kicked Vanderbilt, put them in the dirt, because I would feel really good about the growth and the maturity of the team in the locker room if that happened.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, if this offense has truly taken a step forward, then this is really what's going to show it. And not because I think Mississippi State is a worse team than Vanderbilt, because I haven't seen the road show yet. Let me see it. Let me see the road show, and then I'll say, okay, maybe we got something here. Because if they don't show up on the road, then I don't know what I'm gonna do when they got to go to Fayetteville, bro. Like I can't.
Because that is another decent defensive team. Hasn't had much offensively, but neither had Mississippi State. I'm with you 100%. I think I don't think this is the case, but we're sitting here looking at, man, maybe Vandy can muster something because they did against Georgia. Right now, because of how often it's happened, I'm looking at last week as our emotional let's get going game.
Right.
We had to get a pep talk from the most motivational head coach, interim or otherwise, or assistant coach we've had on staff maybe ever. And we had to get Hugh Freeze and Peyton Thorne was kind of sniping about not having been taken in and out. Like that was let's show it then. That was a let's show it then game. Maybe we did turn the corner. I think it's a little presumptuous to assume everything we needed to figure out on offense, we figured out. Look at that. No, we got challenged because we had been doing a lot of losing. We were coming back home. We didn't want to be embarrassed. We didn't want our season to be thrown away, and we responded, which is very good. But that was one time. Please, let's see it again. I want to see it again before I start making any assumptions about how good we are on offense now. Like, people seem to think we have found it. Like, that was it. We found.
Yeah,
no,
and
okay.
I'm not willing to go there yet that we found anything. Now, again, I will say I expect this team to put up more than 30 points on this Vanderbilt team because everybody's done it so far. If we're the team that's not going to do it, I'm not going to feel good about where we are offensively. I don't care if it was just one game. You got to give them, like, y'all always asking for more time. Man, no, bro. This is game freaking 9 of the season. You don't need no more time. Play football, bro. What are we doing?
We should have been what we are by now.
Yeah, no, we're not. I'm not trying to hear this more time stuff, man.
I'm about to say, I think Auburn wins either way, but I definitely see two possibilities to start this game. Auburn starts off fast and finishes off hot, or Auburn has to play from like down 2 scores and then comes up and wins an ugly game. That's what I see from this offense. It's either stay consistent from last week and blow the doors off of Vanderbilt, or start off slow and have to build your way back up.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We will see what happens in this game. Let's get to these final comments before we get out of here, though. Greg Wheatley says, y'all worrying me when you keep saying how easy this game is going to be.
And say how easy it should be.
Yeah.
Should be.
Vandy
is that bad. This is a typical Vandy team. This is what Vandy is year in, year out, usually outside of a weird year. Last year was a weird year for them. James Franklin had a weird year. This is about it, though. So we can really measure, are we significantly better than the bottom of the conference? Yes or no? And hopefully the answer is yes.
They're a scrappy team.
Got a 2-pack.
See, here you go, talking about scrappy. See? I don't like that. You're giving them too much credit.
Got a 2-pack here from Valencia Jackson, who says Simp is going to get 2 interceptions. And she said something earlier today, our team may not be ranking in number 1 in the rankings according to wins and losses, but individual players are being recognized each week.
Connor Lou is a dog. Connor Lou is a dog.
Gunnar Britton.
We knew we had talent, though.
Right.
This was about bringing it together. So again, hopefully they've turned the corner.
Yeah, listen, man. I need to see it. I need to see it for my own fanship sanity. I need to see them go out there and execute a solidified game plan on offense. And I really, you know what? I'd like to see us in this game put up over 200 yards on the ground. That's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a 200+ ground game. Just go out there and absolutely murder the clock, but dominate in the trenches and make them feel like really just like absolutely just destroy every bit of football manhood that they have, where they're just like, yo, we shouldn't even have been on this field with these guys today. I need to see that out of the boys, man.
I need a full game where Auburn's made me throw my hat on the ground. They've been good for one of those a game. I need a full game.
I don't know that exists. Like, I can't remember the last time that I've not emphatically wanted to scream profanity at whatever I was watching during an Auburn game.
Arkansas 2016, the most perfect Auburn game of all time.
Is that the one where Eli Stove took the joint to the house on like the first play?
That's when they tried to break it to our prayer circle when we were, around the logo before the game. And then they had talked a whole bunch of junk all week. And that was the one time where Gus just said, okay, I'll do this.
Gus
56-3.
Gus had Arkansas's number.
2017 too, because I remember they had that really, really big guy at quarterback. And we just abolished him. It was 55 to 6 or something. It was really bad.
What was his name?
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
It was 2017. I just remember Sensei Mud getting a couple sacks. That's why I know it was 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna kill me. I can see that giant, terrible quarterback that they threw out there. I know his number. It's like 15, I think, because I think Philip.
It was a weird number.
Felipe Franks took his number the year after.
Oh, Felipe.
You're not talking about Ryan Mallett, are you?
No.
It was a
he was long
big, like
gone.
he was
Okay,
like
so what?
6'3" and
No, he was
cocky.
6'7".
Okay, he was a big
He was
dude. He was a
he
really
was
big
he was
dude.
a big
Y'all talking
dude.
about right now.
He couldn't throw the ball to save his life, but he was big.
It was a Chad Morris years though. You know, who
Was
remembers?
it 2017?
Yeah, they said 2016, 2017, one of them. So I don't know.
Okay.
This is gonna kill me until I figure out.
Yeah,
who it is.
once you say the name,
Cole Kelly.
Oh, see, I still don't even remember this dude. That's how bad.
I don't either.
Yeah, wore
Yeah.
15, 6'7", 268. I was gonna say Cody something. I just
He was an offensive lineman. And offensive lineman playing QB. Oh, or at least a tight end playing QB. Like that's crazy. 268
listen, man.
QB.
yeah, but
Cam,
it's
Cam was
2017.
Cam was 250, bro. So
Yeah, but Cam
Yeah, but he was
could
Cam.
run.
I am saying it's different. I'm just talking about his size, though.
Yeah.
Like he's a tight end in
In
size. but-
2017, this giant individual averaged 1.4 yards a carry. 2018 is 2.6.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Dude could fall forward from the line of scrimmage and gain more than that.
Yeah.
Listen, all I know is I'm not trying. I'm gonna be at this game too, dog. I can't, man. I already had to go up there to that ugly basketball arena they had and watch us lose last year in a basketball game.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm not
man.
trying. I'm not. I can't, bro. I can't. I can't make this drive to Nashville and watch y'all go and put a pathetic. I can't do it, man. I don't even want to go.
Chilly on Saturday night too, is it? Well, it's not gonna be too. Well, here it's not gonna be
I was
too,
about to
too
say
bad. I don't know what's gonna be in
Nashville,
Nashville.
Chilly, yeah. So
Does the whistle guy from the Vanderbilt baseball games? Does he go to football games too?
Who goes to Vanderbilt football games? I don't know. I don't know who goes to Vanderbilt.
I don't know, man.
football games.
I got to know because when you watch Vanderbilt on baseball, you have to put on Andy Burcham and mute the TV.
Yeah, I don't. Who watches Vanderbilt football on TV? I don't know the answer to these questions. These are good Jeopardy questions. What is a Vanderbilt football fan?
Hey, I was watching
know.
1-7 Kent State versus 1-7 Akron before we turned it on. Some of us are just weird. Like,
Listen, yeah, but how many Vandy games have you watched? As weird as that is, answer that question. How many Vandy games have you watched? We watched them maybe a little bit against Florida,
I watched the
right?
second half of Ole Miss because we play them this week.
That's the only reason I watched a little bit of. If Vanderbilt was not on our, I'm not gonna lie to you right now. If Vanderbilt was not on our schedule this year, there is a 2% chance I would be turning on a Vanderbilt football game.
They got me because they were on week 0. That's it.
Yeah, I watched the Hawaii game. I watched the Wake Forest game. I
didn't even know they played Wake Forest, and we did a schedule preview for Vandy. That's how bad. I don't care about Vanderbilt football.
I watched the Georgia game whenever they were up.
I didn't even watch that game, and it was supposed to be interesting because they scored first in the game. I didn't even watch that game.
I give Vandy my number. That's Auburn's always gonna be number one, but I love rooting for Vanderbilt whenever they're playing against teams.
I can't.
Lovable losers. You can't help it. You can't hate them unless you're playing them.
You're half right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I can't, bro.
As a fellow hater, I understand.
I can't, man. I just there's no part of my soul that yearns for Vanderbilt football. Like I don't have no sympathy for them. None of that. Just like, hey, man, God bless you. Whatever you do, via Kun Diez. I don't know, bro. Just go with God and help, and maybe He'll lead you all the way. I don't know. Anyway, man, that's enough. We're out of here, man. We're gonna stop talking about this nonsense. Since you guys are guests on, go ahead and tell the people where they can catch all of your content. I'll start with you, Dustin. Go for it.
Yeah, catch us on the Up Tempo podcast, man. Our preview show will be dropping 10 a.m. on the YouTube, and then shortly after that, it'll be uploading onto Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast there. So check us out, man. We are at about 1,200 subs right now, so I want to get to 15 here before the football season's over with.
Hey.
2,000 inside, obviously. So come grow with us, man. Blake, my co-host, will be covering the baseball game Saturday. He's a big baseball guy. Like I said, my favorite sport is basketball, and that's we're scrimmaging right now as we speak. So hopefully Janai is okay. People have been texting me this whole time. If you send me off looking to the side, like, what's going on? Like, I don't know, man. Hopefully we find something good. So hopefully he's okay. But yeah, man, come check us out. We're growing every day. Really excited to be grinding with you guys. It's been a blast.
Awesome. Dylan, talk to the people.
Well, dude, and just to say, Dylan Cardwell's got a nice little 7, 10, and 3 going on. So maybe he's developed into something. But yeah, I'm Dylan like Boy Tank on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. But you also go catch me on the College Loop. We're at 664 followers as we speak on there, and we told our intern he's not allowed to eat until we hit 700. So if you want us to beat our intern, gotta get to the 700.
Dang.
And get your Feeling Loopy shirts as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you guys know, man, just follow us and do the necessary. Get out here and get a membership so we can start talking about this film. Got a little Vandy film I'm going to get out here for you guys. If you want to give the membership and you are a member already, you can do that right now. Follow all the guys on the network. They just told you where they were at. So make sure that you lock in with them there. If you want to get any of our merch, head to the store, warreport.com. Click on shop and you can get some stuff over there. And also, man, listen, if you're here watching the video, whether it is live or you're rewatching it later, go ahead and share that video at the War Report, hashtag Get Your Weight Up, like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on social media at the War Report, and we're TW Report on TikTok. We're out of here, and we will be back at you with another morning drop on Friday. Of course, you got the other guys here in the network doing their stuff. But until then, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.